Welcome to the Running Channel podcast with me, Sarah Hartley, Rick Kelsey to my left, Andy Baddeley to my right. I'm very excited for today's episode.
Is that because we're going to uncover a lot of secrets about Andy and just let loose on him?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but there'll definitely be no surprises. We're just going to have an in-depth chat with one of my very best friends and coach during my Olympic career, Andy Hobdell. I mean, this is creeping up on you a little bit, isn't it? Maybe the karma police are going to come and get me?
What?
Andy went to see Radiohead
over
the
did.
weekend.
Right.
Is that lost on you generationally? Not
Fully,
a Radiohead fan?
Absolutely, yeah, straight over my head.
Yeah.
But huge thank you to Hoka for sponsoring this episode. And as Andy said, today we are joined by two Andys. Andy Baddeley, currently training for Valencia Marathon.
Yes.
Andy Hobdell, currently coaching Andy Baddeley to Valencia Marathon. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking to Andy Hobdell about what it's like to coach you, Andy Baddeley.
Yeah.
And we've also got some questions to ask to, you guessed it, the two Andys. A lot of Andys today.
Too many Andys, I think.
During your career, how did you even know who was talking?
Well, let's see
They're
if anyone
just
can...
one and the same.
Well, we've got Rick for the intro, and then we're going to kick him out and get Andy in. But should we get stuck in?
Let's do it.
I don't remember being kicked out before, actually. This might be a first.
Do we normally swap me or Sarah out for our guests?
But maybe that's because I deserve it. Because last week, we released our video, which is the 2:30 marathon with Runner, where we went out under the flight path in Heathrow.
You're obsessed with the fact this is under the flight path. It's a relevant piece of information there.
No, it is, because it sets the atmosphere.
To be fair, you can hear it a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Certain points in the video.
And we tried to run between 8 of us a sub 2:30 marathon.
Yeah.
But at one point in the video, I make a reference to the fact that I've not ran a marathon since 2017. What do you two think was the most liked comment underneath the video?
Did it have something to do with that?
The fact that I said ran and not completed a marathon. Because in 2017, correctly, Max Justice writes, you did not run a marathon.
By your definition,
by
Rick,
your
by your own
definition.
definition that you've sort of
By our
hamstrung
standards.
yourself up in the...
I think that was a beautiful intro that you narrated as well.
Yeah.
It's a great, if you haven't watched that video, it's a really fun video.
It is good.
It was hard work on the day, windy and cold, but we were actually like a lovely little team, cohesive team spirit.
Yeah, I'm not sure my legs have quite recovered from how fast we were running.
My legs are just a mess at the moment.
Yeah,
so.
you are now, the day this episode comes out is 1 week and 1 day away from Valencia Marathon. How are we feeling? How are we feeling about that?
Well, I'm feeling better now than I felt this time last week.
Okay.
So I had a massive week of training last week.
Which we filmed, don't you worry.
Yes.
You'll be able to see the blood, sweat and tears. And
There was
just
all
to
of
let
those,
you let you behind the curtain a little bit, there's an element of this video where, can we talk about what happened on day 2 of training?
Yes, I can't remember what happened on day 2.
It was very cold, it was very wet.
Yes.
So throughout the whole week, you were doing some indoor training and some outdoor training. Just to let you behind the curtain a little bit, guys, we're not the ground floor.
Oh, well, we kind of are the ground floor, but there is a floor beneath us, yeah.
And turns out if you put a treadmill on a floor above a basement floor, and they haven't reinforced their ceiling, you can piss quite a lot of people off.
Oh yeah, we got a noise complaint. We got because actually the treadmill itself's very quiet.
It's so quiet.
We got a noise complaint from the people down below who are so noisy.
Yeah, they run an editing studio, don't they? And they're constantly blaring stuff out at like the top of the speakers. But it did turn out that it was like the whole ceiling was shaking.
They came in and they were like, sorry, we just need to see what was going on. It felt like our ceiling was about to fall down.
So
and I was like, no, Andy's just bashing out 45 minutes easy to steady. Don't you worry, he's 10 minutes in.
I'm going to do some strides in a minute.
We'll be done in half an hour.
What's the result of this?
Oh, they were fine. We did another run on the treadmill on Friday. And,
at midnight.
No. We went down and said, we're just about to do a little workout on the treadmill. Hope that's okay. And they were really good about it. So it's fine.
Yeah.
We gave them a heads up this time.
They were editing Shrek 5.
They do edit some pretty high-end stuff down there. So, not that our stuff isn't high-end.
Yeah, if the sound balancing in Shrek 5 is a bit bad.
If you can hear Andy on a treadmill bouncing this Christmas.
Well, yeah, so I feel better because I had a really big week last week. I had to cram it in as well because of going to Radiohead on Saturday night at the O2.
Yes.
Which was genuinely epic. 2.5 hours just solid. It was.
Did you come out feeling really kind of charmed and happy?
So everyone thinks Radiohead's depressing. That's not my experience with Radiohead, I find
It's
it
uplifting.
Yeah.
Uplifting, yeah.
How
yeah.
was exiting the stadium and getting back to your hotel?
Oh, funny, Sarah. Good, yeah.
Did you hear about this?
I thought that the gig. I thought the gig was in a different stadium, so I booked a hotel. Yeah, I booked a hotel in Stratford, not in.
How long
Greenwich.
does it take to
Actually,
get
it was like 8 minutes on the tube, so it was genuinely fine.
Oh, right, fine.
And Rick and I had pioneered the go around the back of the queue to get onto the Jubilee line when we went to see Lionel in the summer, so I already knew where I was going.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was fine.
Oh, there's a hack.
Yeah. Just don't tell anyone.
Right. It's all right. No one listens to this.
Yeah. That's going to be going to. Yeah. No one listens to the podcast. That's the spirit.
That is the hack if you go to see a gig at the O2 in London.
Yeah. It is. Yeah. Don't join the queue. Walk all the way around and go in the bus station entrance.
Right. Anyway, back to running. Rick, how's your running going?
Yes. So I've got Morton's toe. Do you know what Morton's toe is?
No, I've got a feeling you're going to tell us that.
Okay. It's when your second toe is bigger than your big toe. It's a common and harmless condition. However, it can cause varying degrees of discomfort. Between 15 and 20% of people have it, and apparently it's more common in men. And it can bring on calluses, plantar fasciitis, bunions. I don't have any of those, but it does kind of bunch at the front of your trainer, especially if you're starting longer runs.
So sorry, your second toe in from your big toe is longer than your big toe.
Yeah.
The one next to your big toe, yeah.
Yeah, and I've not really experienced any major discomfort from it until recently. And I don't even know why it's just started. You might be able to answer this, actually.
I don't know. I've just gone down a rabbit hole in my own head of like, well, why don't toes have names? You've got the big toe and the pinky, but nothing else. Whereas you've got like your index finger, your ring finger, and your middle finger.
Yeah, there's like three.
So you're talking about your index toe, aren't you?
I'm talking about my index toe, yeah. Yeah.
We've given it a name.
Or do we call it the Morton toe?
Yeah.
Well, I think no, because that's only the people whose second toe is bigger than the big toe.
Is there any more to this story? No?
So I think the Radiohead ones were best.
Okay. I was just
Andy got a little bit of help from producer Owen on those.
I was just dipping my toe in the comedy water.
There we go. He's there. But yeah, I did get out and I did 10K last week, but I didn't do parkrun because I don't like missing parkrun. But I had to go to a birthday party, my own child's birthday party.
You had to go to it?
Yeah.
I
would miss another child's birthday party in order to go to parkrun.
But not your own.
Having my own child's birthday party at 11
why did you
o'clock.
schedule your own?
No, because it's 11 o'clock and I like to hang around, have a cup of coffee
I don't
after.
think this was on Saturday, but there was one of your runs last week and I saw the Strava title, which was latest in the day I've run since a marathon I finished at tea time. So there's lots of questions here. One, you still call it tea time. So would you have tea at like 5, 6 p.m?
Correct.
What would you have in the middle of the day?
Lunch.
Do you ever have dinner?
No.
Okay.
So the kids' tea is when they get home.
Yeah.
What do you call it?
It depends on whether I think by like default from growing up in the north, I'd have called it tea in the evening. But then now I probably do call it dinner time in the evening and lunchtime at lunchtime.
You're so southern. So my parents, I think, do breakfast, lunch, dinner, supper. Well, maybe they call it tea time.
I am not surprised your parents do supper.
Oh, of course they do supper.
Yeah.
Honestly, anyone
Having
in
got to know
life...
your parents over the last few years, they are the most supper people I've ever met.
Yeah.
Anyone in life who is not having... I think most people have a little snack before bedtime.
Well, Tom does.
And
Tom has a whole meal before.
Yeah, Tom has his fourth meal at 5 to midnight.
I honestly, if you're not having supper, you're missing out. Because so do you have pudding with dinner or tea?
We might have
the kids are obsessed with
pudding. We probably would have a pudding.
They do think pudding's
have a pudding.
Well, we'd have like
we just
fruit
don't
and
have
yogurt. We're like the
we
worst
don't have
parents
desserts.
ever. You know, when you go to your parents when you're growing up, like, oh, what's for pudding? And they're like, fruit and yogurt. You're like, oh,
so that's
our kids every day.
Me and Tom, we just never have pudding ever. But
that's because Tom knows he's going to eat ribs and chips at 11 p.m.
Savour him. Yeah, honestly, supper. Don't sleep on supper. It's great. Little drink, little cake. My running this week, no one's asked, but I'll interject.
Yeah.
I just feel a little bit lost with running at the moment.
Really? That's sad.
Yeah, I've got a bit of plantar fasciitis in my foot, which I need to go see a physio about it because I've done the thing of Googling it and it hasn't fixed it.
Calf raises is a big thing.
Yeah, I need to go to the gym.
Yeah.
It's now I haven't been to the gym properly since February.
Wow.
And it's really starting to show. I'm still building the gym. So in my head, I can't go to the gym because it's
building
not built
the gym's
yet.
quite physical. If you were doing any of it.
Really not doing any of it. Tom's
fine.
doing all of it. I bake banana bread whilst he builds the gym.
Okay. I don't know how effective banana bread is at relieving plantar fasciitis.
I know. Not when you add as many chocolate
but if you
chips
did
in it
calf
as I
raises
do.
whilst putting the banana bread in and out of the oven.
But it's really getting to a point where like I can't walk barefoot on hard surfaces anymore.
Oh, okay.
And I feel like a grandma.
That's quite bad.
But Sarah, I feel like there's only a certain amount of miles that you can take on in one household at a time. Now, you live with Tom, who is taking on an ultra, and he's putting in so many miles every week. You're also running with him, also doing loads of filming with him.
This is
and
actually
this is all
quite
building
fun.
up. So you can't really take on a challenge. If there's two people in a relationship,
one person has to take the back
It's a lot. Someone has to take a back seat.
Well,
You're just
I am
on the back seat
taking
at
the
the
back
moment.
seat.
Is Chantal training for 100 miles then?
She's been training for a 100-miler for about 9 years.
Yeah, that's what I thought, yeah.
Wow, she's really putting in the hard
Really
work.
putting in the
isn't she?
miles, yeah.
Honestly, I would
like
recommend though that my favourite run of the week at the moment is me and Tom go on a little date night run.
Oh.
We just do 5k together and go out. And so far, we've shaved a minute off our little 5k time together.
Right. Is that, I mean,
talk?
If you think about that from a relationship perspective, what you're celebrating there is spending 1 minute less together on date night.
Mate, that is...
Well, no, because he has a
That's
little...
such a Cambridge answer.
Tom always...
That's such a Cambridge answer.
Tom does always also take like a little wee break at the halfway point because we like
5k.
Yeah, we end up at a woods.
You want
so
to get
we
that
go
checked
like
out.
it's an out and back. That's what I'm
5K.
like wee before you leave every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would be saying to the kids, "Come on, guys." You know, it's like
oh god,
it's like when they every single time the kids come to dinner. I've been telling them for ages. They sit down and they've been eating their dinner for no more than 3 minutes. When all of them go, "I need the toilet." I'm like, "Oh, I asked you to go before." So yeah, I'd be having words with Tom.
it's so annoying.
Oh dear.
This happens every week at Elizabeth's swim class. It's 8:45, and at almost bang on 9 o'clock, she puts her hand up through the parents' looking glass, and it's like time out for Elizabeth, time out. Get her. She goes have a wee. Takes her 5 minutes.
Yeah, back
and she
in
washes her hand for 5 minutes. She comes out and banging on the door. There's 2 minutes to go into class. Class is finished.
I'm going to whisper it. Tell her to wee in the pool.
Just be like, you're in a toilet.
Yeah.
You don't need to leave to do anything
Why are you drying
there.
your hands? What are you drying your hands for? What are you drying your hands for? Like, she's drying them for like 3 minutes. I'm like, that's a fiver.
Well,
Anyway,
just
on
a very
that
quick
note-
one. Yeah, speaking of like drying your hands, washing your hands, all that sort of stuff, we did an entire Running Channel Club bonus episode about whether or not you two in particular bother washing your legs in the shower, and how many times you can wear your running kit and what's acceptable. Rick,
the revelation
the
that
number of
Rick
times
gave
Rick wears his shorts is something to be concerned about. Yeah.
And on that note, I think you should go and do some washing.
I'm just going to finish with one sentence in the fact that sometimes having useful conversations about running allows you to change your ways and become a better runner. That conversation allowed me to change how I wash and how I run, and I'm a much healthier, cleaner person because of it.
Yeah. The podcast studio smells better today, so thank you.
But let's get in a cleaner, healthier person. Welcome, Andy Hobdell. Okay, I want to start with, you were best man at Andy's wedding, but you weren't allowed to speak. Let's unpick that.
Well, yeah, let's work out how he's allowed me here today then.
I am sat here very, very nervously. We've given the context already, but Andy and I go back to around about 2001 when we met. He didn't coach me then. And 3 years later, I asked him to coach me. And then he coached me all the way through my pro career, was best man at my wedding, is godfather to one of my children.
Non-speaking.
And we are friends.
Non-speaking best man.
Okay.
I took it well.
Did you?
Everyone at the wedding was saying, what are you going to say in your speech? What are you going to say in your speech? I said, I'm not.
So who did speeches? Did you do a speech?
I had two best men.
I was third.
The other best man also called Andy.
Oh, gosh.
The only upside was...
He was too safe, though. I wish you'd spoken, and it's my fault.
No, but I kicked off on the dance floor. It made up for it.
Yes, he did.
Nice.
So did you know that Andy used to be a jazz dancer?
Did you?
I did, yeah.
Serious? I'm serious.
Oh my gosh, there's so much to unpick. Right, so you've gone jazz dancer. You're also an elite running coach, but you also have a day job as well.
Look, I was, criminal lawyer.
You're a lawyer. It's a triple threat with the jazz dancer.
Start with that. Just so I'm wearing a T-shirt from Team Macau, and we're going to come on to that. That's the Hoka-sponsored running group that Andy coaches, pro athletes. And it's a Team Macau merch T-shirt where Andy, and this is how I remember Andy obviously coaching me as well. He's in his suit from court,
Love it.
At the running track. And that's the shirt that Rick was wearing at the beginning of this podcast as well.
Do you know, funny little thing. So when Badders, I call him Badders, not Andy. Is that okay?
Yeah, fine.
Right. So when he ran at the London Olympics, funny little story. There I was at court in the morning in my suit. And then on the way to the first round, getting changed from my suit into my nice little Team GB kit on the tube.
Love that. That is such a power move, isn't it?
It's just
Going to my other job.
It's like Superman. You should have had it on underneath your suit. You got into a phone box.
Break the suit open and go out.
It's like, what, Andy, what have you got in your bag? Oh, I've got my suit. Suit? Yeah. Team GB kit.
Yeah, standard. So yeah, we would be often fitting in training around I was a pro athlete, so I had the luxury of training whenever I wanted, but actually most of my training partners didn't. And a lot of them had full-time jobs. Andy had full-time jobs, and it was really important to me that Andy could see me train when he was coaching me. So we went all over the place, didn't we?
Oh.
We went, I think, various different points. St Albans track, Eton, we spent a lot of time training there, in the dark on like a Tuesday night. And then St Mary's track, Lee Valley, we were all over the place, but basically I was making a pilgrimage to have the oversight that Andy could give me.
Also, like the training in a group as well seems to be a common theme. That's what you're doing at the moment with Team Macau. What is it that a like group setting does differently to if an athlete's just training by themselves?
Well, look, you know, as I experienced when Badders and I were there the first time round, you know, from 2004 to 2012, we quickly appreciated the energy from having training partners that it brings. You know, if you're having a bad day, your training partners are there, they share the work, the banter, the jokes, you know, all of that in between sessions, which I know Andy remembers very well. It's that energy that helps you to create the best out of you.
Yeah, and you were the same. We had this amazing training group, and funny enough, I think we were ahead of the curve because you and I tried to set up effectively what you have now with Hoka and Team Macau.
Correct.
Back in the mid-2000s, but it wasn't really like the done thing, and we couldn't get buy-in to do it. But we had a training group that was pretty good. And the thing I loved about it and the thing I miss now, I don't really miss competing, but I miss those training sessions where there were 4 or 5 of us, sometimes more. And it was like flicking a switch where during the warm-up and like the chat beforehand, and this was the athletes and Andy, it was like just relentless, inverted commas, banter. I know you joke about the British Miler series.
Andy banters with his teammates.
Yeah, and I think they had to pick the safe stuff that they could show on camera.
Yeah,
but
I've heard the not safe stuff.
Yeah.
Is there not safe stuff?
Just everything that you said before we pressed record.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
But the stuff we'd be talking about was just, I don't know, it kept it light. And even when it came to the biggest points in my career, like the Dream Mile in Oslo in 2008, I was so nervous before that race. And I called you and I'd never phoned you before a race before. You came down under the stadium and you knew what I needed to hear.
Yeah, but there's a flip side to that. You know, it's kind of, I think people miss out on what it requires to become world class and what it's like to be in that elite club of world class. You know, it's the place that you spend your entire career wanting to get to. And then when you are there, it's a pressure cooker, you know? It really is. And if you've got those training partners, coach, those persons around you that allow you to decompress before you train and helps you to decompress into major championships, it allows you to get the best out of you. If you're just staying in that pressure cooker the whole time, that is a very difficult place to be. And, you know, just getting back to the Oslo thing, you know, it's hilarious. I'm there in the stadium, Oslo, one of my favourite venues, preached to Andy from the very start of his career, you're not world class until you break 350 for the mile. And my phone goes. And I'm like, sat there going, he's supposed to be in the warm-up track. Why is he calling me? Right? And I sort of look at Collis Birmingham, and a few Australians who are with me.
Yeah, one of my Australian training partners.
Yeah. And I said, why is Badders calling? Do you want to answer it? Yeah, okay. And so I'm there, and Badders going, can I have a quick Oh, for God's sake.
You were a bit like, you're like, what? What's the matter? I was like, all right, I'm feeling pretty fragile.
I need some kind words of encouragement, please.
But you didn't really give me kind words, but you did give me what I needed.
Yeah, no, I came down, eventually found him in the warm-up track. There he is, lost soul in the warm-up track, about to go out for his biggest race of his life to date. And I said, what's the problem? He said, Tom Lancashire just ran really well. I went, yeah, and?
He's one of my biggest British rivals, so me and him were kind of going head to head on to make the Olympic team for Great Britain that year.
That's it. And I said, and he said, no, you just ran really well. I said, how good has your training been to this point? And he went, Yeah, really good. I said, that time trial that we do most years, a couple of weeks ago, did you just run the fastest time you've ever run? He said, yeah. I said, can I go now?
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, I suppose so. and then we had a sign off during our, which we'll have to bleep, but we had a sign off during our my career, which like the last thing that Andy would ever say to me, like on the phone or before I flew out to a race or before the heats or final at the Olympics, whatever it was, he was just like, let's do this crazy shit. That was it. And I was like, and that was like it became, I guess, a subconscious trigger to be like, yeah, okay, like I'm okay, I'm good to go.
And there was the other thing, wasn't it? There was when you walk out into a stadium, to a track, to a start line, you know, you've got 80, 100,000 people in the stadium. That is, what's that saying we had for coming out onto the track? You've got to be
10 foot tall and bulletproof.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about that when we
Yeah.
and that's we went through. There's a video on YouTube you can see where I kind of found my old notes from my career, and that was on every single page almost, because when I was running my best, that is how I felt, and it was trying to, even when I wasn't feeling great, it was harking back to that, and that was like a mantra of like, that's how I'm going to be, going out on the track and feeling tall and strong and like no one can touch you.
Because it's a pretty wild environment, or if you think about it for a second, it's pretty crazy to be like, you're going to go out and at a certain time you're just going to have to run, potentially like in Oslo for example, the fastest you've ever run in your life, which is, the pressure there is crazy. We asked some people from the Running Channel Club if they got any questions for you, Andy Hobdell, and
It's confusing, isn't it?
Scott's asked, what is Andy B's superpower? He says it's just showing up, but what is his X factor?
Oh God.
he's different.
Oh no.
Well, we all knew that.
Yeah.
In what way?
I recognised very early on in his career. So first of all, when he came to me as an athlete, he was undertrained and undercoached. You know, he had natural talent, but as you know from having worked and been with Badders for so long, he is different.
Mm-hmm. In a special way.
In a very special way.
Yeah.
And the fact that we can go through a process to achieve an outcome. And I think it's your engineering background, maybe, I don't know, I'm not sure. But he would then apply to the letter how we planned it to be, and he would do it. And I could rely on him to do it. And everything about the training was there to show him he could do it. And so once he saw it within the training, he would then go and execute. And that was very special. It was very much early doors with us. And there were a couple of occasions when he didn't quite follow it. It was like, oh, maybe we could have done that differently. Oh, no, sorry.
Yeah. Well, I can think of a few moments. So one that springs to mind, you were trying to build up my training. This is like the first year or two of being coached by you. Actually, must have been the first year. Mm-hmm. I just moved down to London to effectively be a full-time athlete. And Andy's like, right, we're going to do a threshold run today.
Oh, God.
And I was like, he's like, do you know what a threshold run is? And it seems like a strange question now, but I was like, oh, yeah. No was the answer, but yeah. But I was like, yeah, fine, yeah.
He wouldn't admit that he didn't know.
I've done that to you as well.
Yeah.
You have.
I remember the first time you sent me training that was, it was an easy to steady run. And I was like, right, okay, you start easy and then you finish steady.
That's right.
Which is right. But then I feel like sometimes with those runs, you could just go, you meant like easy to steady in general, like
It's
how
in
you're
the wording,
feeling.
isn't it?
Yeah, but
deliberately vague.
but I literally would be like, okay, I'm going to start at easy pace, and then every kilometre I'm going to meticulously get 10 seconds per kilometre
right.
You
faster.
can do that, though.
Yeah,
But the best
okay.
bit was when you were sending Sarah training for a bit, and but because you were used to texting me, and you had obviously you just gone straight into the same kind of, and the other athletes, but like you've gone straight into the same parlance, like. You hadn't explicitly told her to do a warm up or cool down.
Never put warm up when you texted me.
So you'd be like 10k at 5 minute Ks, and Sarah just go out the door 10 minutes at 10k at 5 minute Ks. no warm up, nothing
You
easy.
never said.
Hey, I survived quite well doing that.
To be fair, sub 20 for 5k.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
we did that together.
Nice little fist bump. So
Sorry, you were going to say.
No, so basically, I didn't know what a threshold
That's
was.
you.
Bushy Park is like 6 or 7 miles around the outside, depending on which route you take. Mm-hmm. And there were two things here. One, I didn't really know how to run a threshold properly.
Right.
And I didn't have a heart rate monitor to go by. And two, I'd only just moved to South West London and I didn't really know the route around Bushy Park. It's very simple, but there is a little bit where I got lost effectively.
Yeah.
And so I went to do this and I had to abort after 5 minutes because I went all out for 5 minutes. And then I was just like, I was blowing so much, I was lost in the middle of the park. I was like, I'm going home. So then I had to call Andy and be like, I'm so sorry, mate. This is what happened. You're like, you're an idiot. but I do think, yeah, my superpower was broadly just doing exactly what you asked me to do. No more, no less. I know that you have coached athletes, not your current bunch, where you'd be like, go and run a 90-minute run, nice and easy. And they'd come back and they've just run 90 minutes flat out, or they've run 2 hours flat out. And you'd be like, what are you doing? You never got that from me.
How do you balance that though? Because there must be like, you've coached so many people to like world-class standard. How are the relationships different when you have some people who are, for want of a better word, nerdy, like Andy, and literally will revise the training plan, and then you've got other people who maybe a little bit
loose cannons.
Yeah.
Do you know, I think it's a process, and I think, Badders is the gold standard, and sadly they all are now trying to compare themselves to the gold standard. There's so much that I learned as a young coach working with Badders and through our career, that now when I coach athletes now, it's about trying to achieve that gold standard, and they don't find it easy initially. And in the early days, it's very much, what were you doing? Why did you do that? And then it may then elevate itself to a yellow card situation.
Oh.
And then, it kind of gets it across and it puts it into their language, which is, look, if you want to be world class, it's about doing enough. It's not about doing too much. It's not about doing too little. It's about just doing the right amount. Because if you do too much, you're going to break.
Yeah.
If you're going to do too little, then you're not going to achieve the right amount. If you're not going to rest when you're given rest,
yeah, what's the point?
What's the point?
I remember a funny, I think it's funny anyway, we sometimes every now and again, once a year or once every couple of years, they'd bring together like a lot of the best endurance athletes in the UK for, say, a training weekend. And then all the coaches would combine and you'd sort of roughly agree a workout that you'd all do together. But like I was thinking, well, these guys are my rivals. I don't really want to train with these guys. And there's two ways of going about it, I think. You can try and bury your rivals and try and like show them how good you are and do it. Or you can do what I did, which was, I remember doing a workout and it was with these guys, and I remember the head of endurance coming up to you or me afterwards being like, is Badders okay?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I just did what I was asked. So we were supposed to do whatever it was, 8 by K at this certain time, 250 per kilometre, whatever it might be. And so that's exactly what I did. But I was on my own. The rest of the group were racing each other. So they were like, 50, 100 metres ahead of me, way faster than the time that we'd agreed.
Yeah.
And then the coaches were like, what's wrong with Andy? Because at this point I would have probably been ranked number 1 in the 1500 as well.
You were.
And they were thinking, maybe it's a longer session, so he just doesn't have the endurance to do it. I was like, oh no, I'm easy. I'm just doing what I've been told to do.
Yeah,
I don't care what they're doing.
Like you're not winning.
Yeah.
But then that's so hard. So we did a run club with Hoka a few weeks ago.
Oh yes.
And we did.
Andy was coaching.
Andy was coaching.
Yeah.
Just a few hundred people on a track.
It was but you handled it perfectly. There was no chaos. But I do think it was very interesting to see probably a very similar situation where, you've set a workout for people to do. There were some people on the track who were going above and beyond what they'd done before because of that kind of group coaching environment. Yeah. There were other people who raced that workout.
They did.
And you could see those dynamics appearing. When you've got a whole group like that, is that how you come across new athletes to coach? And what's the process of like finding new talent?
So I think it's very much you give them those opportunities of learning in the early stages, and it's funny, even with like newbies and development, when they come along to a track and I'll say, right, we're going to run the first mile, run it at your 10K intensity. And they'll run around and go, crikey. They go, what? That's a pretty quick 10K. And then they start to work it out. And it's something that, as Badders knows, there are people who will buy into your philosophy and your process of coaching and training. And there are those who never will. And they're the ones that drop away. Because it's about, applying your energy to those that welcome the process.
You need to do it for months and years and not be like, after 6 months, like, oh, I'm looking at Strava, I'm looking at social media, I'm looking at the people training on the track with me that aren't in my training group. Because we've had that, right? Like the people, the grass is always greener. And I think that we got a question here, like, actually, from Gemma Roberts, which was, does your job have to encompass therapists as well? Like being a therapist? I would say for me, it definitely did.
Yeah.
For instance, if someone's feeling a bit burnt out or having a hard time, do you go easy on them that week or adapt the training? Or as your trainer, is it your job to tell them to pick it up and get the job done to ensure that the training stays on track? And I think your skill isn't like, yes, it's setting a week or a month or 6 months of training, but like there's loads of people out there that can do that. And I don't want to take anything away from you, but I think you would say it's not rocket science in terms of the actual stuff that you do.
I often do.
Yeah. But I think that your skill is that human side of it. Like you're coaching how many guys now, or guys and girls?
Well, it just varies. You know, I suppose if you're looking at the elite end, there's 12 elites that I'm looking after. And look, for me, and you know this, and Sarah, you've experienced this, when I coach you, I'm invested. It's not just a training program.
Yeah.
I want to know how you're responding day to day, morning to afternoon, because that's what's important. You know, when you were training, you've got a job as well. It's how's that impacting your lifestyle? How's that impacting you? It's all relevant. I'm interested. You know, you have to be interested. It's not just go out and do the miles. It's how you're responding to the miles. It's how you're coping with the pressure of achieving world class. It's not easy. And so it isn't as simple as just giving a training program. My energy goes that way. It goes to the athlete, because I recognize that if an athlete is in that world class program, there's not too much coming back, because they're totally immersed within the training program and what they're trying to do.
Yeah, there's a few times where it went both ways. I say very, very rarely, but occasionally, and this is your favorite story, I think, Sarah, you would be like, I would think I had a particular training session to do. And then at the end of it, you'd be like, okay, give me your watch. And I'd take my watch off. And then you'd be like, right, 400 meters now, flat out, I'll time you. And I was like, oh, I don't want to do it, because I wasn't expecting it. But you could see that I needed, or you'd always planned it. You're like, I'm going to do this. If Badders looks good, I'm going to give him this. But then actually more often it was maybe 2/3 or 80%, 90% through a workout. You'd be like, that's enough.
Yeah.
Like you that's enough for today.
And you do, I'm guessing, like have to have full trust.
Yeah,
to just be like, okay. But then I also feel like your personality trait is like that would really annoy you if you knew you were going to do something.
Yeah, and then I wasn't able to, wasn't allowed to complete it. Yeah, a little bit. But at the same time, I think we had a relationship by the best parts of my career where Andy never made me do something in training that I couldn't do. He often asked me to do something I didn't think I could do. But then because he constantly showed me I could do all this stuff, the decisions he made just took the pressure off me. So if you're training on your own and you've been told to do 8 by K, you know, unless there's some kind of like nuclear intervention, you're probably just going to do 8 by K.
Yeah.
Whereas having a coach there who you trust, who says 7's enough, like then it removes all of the guilt, because there's a lot of guilt being an athlete. I think, you know, did I quite do what I was meant to do there? Did I run at the right heart rate? Have I executed that in the way? Have I run far enough or fast enough? Like,
it's also, you never get to see what you look like when you're running.
Yes.
It's kind of, like if you were on a treadmill, you'd have a mirror in front of you and you might be able to spot like, okay, I look pretty done in. Whereas I'm guessing from a coaching perspective, you can just instantly see like they're tired, they should stop.
You just get to tune in to them, and from what you see, from what you hear, from their breathing, from their responses in between reps, how they're responding within the rep. It's just tuning into the athlete. It's not just standing on the side of a track with a stopwatch going, yeah, nice one.
Done, home time.
And that's what people, if they look from an outside to a coach just standing on the inside of the track, it's kind of like, it's not really doing very much. But I watch the athletes all the way around, because you want to just get to understand them from a biomechanical, physiological perspective and how that relays within a session. Badders, you've been very, very kind to me so far, but you forget about throwing spikes at me before. Sorry about this.
Yeah, let's talk. Yeah, let's go.
When you were going out to the Commonwealth Games, do you remember we did a speed session at St Mary's?
Yes.
It's really awkward, wasn't it?
Yes, I was a bit cross.
Why was he cross?
He threw his toys out the pram.
I don't remember that one that well. I do remember one at Lee Valley.
I was scarred.
No. Let's not brush over. What happened?
I've still got PTSD.
Have you? Oh, okay. Let's unpick that. What did he do to you?
Well, he was going out to Australia for the Commonwealth Games.
Yeah,
and so
my first ever global champs.
Yeah, first ever. Just
all right.
I was nervous. All right. I was nervous. I'm trying to get the excuses in.
And so like Badsy, I want to get everything right. So we had to do a speed session, but it was, it's January. It was really cold. The track was borderline icy.
Oh, now I remember.
Now you remember, yes.
Yeah. I was like, what are we doing? This is stupid.
Because it was icy.
Yeah.
Right. So he had a little princess moment.
Yeah. Scarred.
The one I remember more distinctly. That one I don't think I behaved as badly. I'm going to bring up one where I think I behaved worse. Was we were the three of us we're working with Sarah, my sports psychologist, not you.
Yeah. That would be a plot twist, wouldn't it?
Were you there?
Surprise!
Sarah, aged whatever in 2011.
In 2011, age 13.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be weird if you're my psychologist.
13.
We were working on helping me deal with the unexpected, right?
Yeah.
And so we went to it was the same time of year actually. So maybe this was where my tantrum time of the year because we were training indoors because it was cold. So we were at Lee Valley indoor track, 200 meter indoor track. That's sort of irrelevant. And Andy we'd agreed with Sarah and Andy that I wouldn't know what the training session was going to be. That my whole training group would know what it was.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't. And Andy would tell me as I got there what was happening. So and I had no context. He was like, okay. And I had my racing flat trainers on and I had my spikes. And so basically Andy was like, okay, flats on, you're going to run a mile, run it in this pace. And I didn't even know what recovery I was going to get afterwards. And I just...
That's like the opposite of what Andy wants.
Yeah. I know. It's painful.
Psychologically it was...
A perfect psychological experiment.
I quite enjoyed
but
it,
look, you're like squirming
yeah, it makes me
now.
feel sick thinking about it now, just because I couldn't do it. I couldn't... I think it was just the psychology bit, but it got to like, I don't know what we were doing, 5 or 6 efforts, whatever it was, and by the end, I was just losing my mind, and I was so cross, and I did have a little hissy fit for sure.
What does an Andy Bradley hissy fit look like? Because obviously he has to be like
pathetic, actually.
calm, collected CEO.
Picture
man.
a 4-year-old tantrum in a man's body.
Like at the supermarket checkout when a
Falling on the
parent
floor,
said,
kicking my legs.
no, you can't have this chocolate bar.
Falling to the ground, stamping his feet, banging his arms on the ground.
I mean, I don't think that's what happened.
Oh, I do.
Can you
Sarah
picture
can
it?
say it.
So we've gone from 2011 tantrums to now you're coaching Andy with a full-time job to run a marathon PB.
Yes.
What are the differences? What are the similarities? How has the relationship changed?
Do you know, first thing and foremost, it's just lovely to be working together doing this type of stuff, because I haven't really relayed this, but when we were at our peak and doing things, we were talking to each other every day, twice a day.
Yeah.
It was lots, because that's how you have to be. And so it's really lovely to be back in that environment where Bads has a session going, yeah, we're okay today. Okay, what have I got tomorrow of doing this? So working together again, it's just lovely. Differences are, he's got 3 children, a wife, a full-time job. He's got lots of excuses not to do something, but I'm not listening to those.
Nice.
So we continue regardless.
Yes.
How does that feel?
Feels great. But especially you've got 3 children, you have a wife, you have a full-time job. So also like, you're not asking me to do anything that you haven't had to do. So I'm like, okay, fine. I'll get
but there is a joke in there, isn't there? Because I always remember Badders going to me, you're making this look really easy with the 3 kids, a job and a wife and stuff and everything. And then, of course, he goes down the line of having 3 beautiful children, a lovely wife. And then he works it out. I actually did nothing. It was all my wife.
What are you saying?
And Andy's following the exact same path.
Hey. Whoa. Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
That is completely accurate. And actually this week, we're going to be training. So I did a really tough week last week and the guys have filmed that whole thing. They've had the cameras in my face the whole time.
What was tough about that week?
Great.
That was quite an easy week.
What are you talking about? It's the biggest week I've done in years.
So based off of the back, because we're recording this on a Monday, based off of the back of that last week of training and the long run on Saturday morning,
Don't ask this question.
how are we feeling about Valencia?
Optimistic.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can you
I
break,
believe
can
Another
you
great
break that
Radiohead
down
song.
into-
Optimistic.
If he does as he's told, and his body holds together,
That's the big one.
Yeah,
which is the big one.
yeah.
Yeah, he could do something quite special.
Really?
Really.
Ah.
Yeah, going to win Valencia.
No.
Actually, have you not told them you're going to go hell to leather for the first 100 metres and win the first 100?
Yeah, perfect. Also,
I don't think I
don't they
could.
still have that thing at Valencia where if you set the world record, they give you like £1 million
I
or
think you have
something?
to go under 2 hours.
Under 2 hours?
Yeah.
Just.
Come on.
Okay.
You have to go under 2 hours.
Well, I think whether it's
10 foot
201
tall and bulletproof,
or
mate.
2 hours.
I mean-
Yeah. I'd have to be 40 foot tall and bulletproof to take the strides.
To take 2 steps.
So we are recording on a Monday. In 2 days' time, I'm also going to be coming to train with Team Macau with some of your
Yes.
athletes. So this is a Hoka sponsored elite performance-focused training group with some of the best guys in the country. You've got Rory Leonard, who set a British record, coached by you, to his British record, beat Mo Farah's British record over 10K on the road.
Poor Mo.
Yeah, I'm sure you feel really awful about having got that British record.
Sorry, Mo.
But that's a huge, huge result. And so how did Team Macau come about?
Yeah, I mean, there is quite a tale. I mean, Chris Rainsford from Hoka,
who you also coach actually, and he's running Valencia with me, and I keep seeing him doing almost the same workouts as me, but he's trying to run like under 220, and so or right around about 220.
Yeah, 218.
218, yeah. And so I see him do the same workouts as me. It just takes him a lot less time, a lot.
Hey, look, it's only your second marathon. Give it a few years.
Yeah, thanks, Chris, for making me feel rubbish about myself.
But you know what? I mean, when I think back, and then you may cut and do what you like with this, but when I think back, we had a whole conversation in the early part of his career about, so Badders, got some bad news for this week. He said, what's that? I said, you're going to have to run for 90 minutes on Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah, genuinely, I was like, what do you mean?
How do I do that?
I was like, but I was
I'll
like,
be so bored.
I want to run 3.5 minutes for 1,500 metres. Why have I got to run 90 minutes on a Sunday?
We had a whole debate.
Really?
Yeah, we had to talk about, well, you get to a certain point, your glycogen stores are going to be depleted.
Yeah.
And he's looking at me going,
I was like, I like my glycogen stores. I don't need them to.
deplete them.
I don't need to deplete those.
it was just like ridiculous. And then, yeah.
So this post career bit for me that's been the strange bit, because I just never ran that far, and then all of a sudden now, I'm running distances that I didn't think I'd be able to run. Like I did 2 runs in the last training week, a workout on Wednesday where the total distance was 25, 26k, and then I guess the same again on Saturday, with some pretty intense blocks of pace in both of those.
Yeah. It's fun.
And I never thought, no, it wasn't fun. Let's
Type 2 fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Type 3?
I just don't think it was
Type
fun at
4.
all, really.
I think the funniest part is he does it and he says, just done that session. I said, okay. You got any domestic chores at home later?
Yeah. Well, the reason I had to train at 7 a.m. on Saturday morning for the long run.
Yeah.
It isn't that early, but I was driving 20 minutes to where I was running to run somewhere like with a good flat route, which meant I had to get up at 5:30 to eat and drink and do all that sort of stuff, get there. And then we finished and I was like, bye guys, because Owen and the guys were filming.
Yeah.
And then had to dive in the car. I literally had 5 minutes at home to shower and grab some food. And then I was on the football pitch coaching. And they won 5-2, so smashed it.
Love that.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was all down to
Sam scored a goal from the halfway line. Yeah.
And
bounced off the post and went through the goalkeeper's legs.
And it's all down to your coaching.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's something wrong with my coaching if I'm telling them to shoot from the halfway line. But, yeah.
Is there?
No, fine. And were you up in Liverpool this weekend? Some of your athletes were.
I do what coaches do. I stood in the field.
Nice.
This was for the Liverpool Cross Country Challenge, which is the trials for the European Cross Country Championships.
It is.
How'd that go?
Really well. Yeah, it was really
You're the
good.
master of understatement. Come on.
No,
so the senior men's race, which positions
went okay. We had an okay day.
And what does an okay day mean?
Well, how did we do? Ladies race, Sarah was 8th in the ladies race.
And that's Sarah, who I'm training with on Wednesday.
Yeah,
I think this is a slight mismatch of current fitness and ability, but we'll give it a go.
She's flying.
Excellent.
India Weir was 10th. In the men's race, it was a lot of fun.
He's being modest. The men's race, you had Team Hoka, Team Macau athletes from your group came first and second. So you got the first 2 spots on the podium in the men's race. And then 11th and 14th
That's
as well.
That's just how Andy rolls.
Yeah, exactly. He's like,
good.
But
good.
It reminded me so much of the days when Badders used to run around and complain that he didn't do very well because his spike came off.
I did so, and they've got it easy now. You can tell them this. Well, how long? 24 minutes they were running for? What's that about?
Yeah, I know. 8K.
How long were you running for?
Yeah, it was. Ours was like 10k, I reckon.
Yeah, 9.6.
So extra. So let's call it 10k. Round it up. And yeah, one year it was so muddy that after a lap and a half of a 3 or 4 lap race, one of my spikes got sucked off. My shoes got sucked off into the mud, and I couldn't see it. So I just carried on.
Oh no, this reminds me.
I actually did all right. I think I came like 9th or 10th, maybe 11th in the European trial with one shoe.
You qualified. The year you qualified is a funny thing, right?
Yeah.
So he qualified for the European Cross, and it's just the funniest thing ever.
These guys don't think I can run on the mud or the cross country.
But it wasn't mud.
10k.
It wasn't muddy. But what there was, they put these obstacles, these little hurdles or barriers on the course.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember this?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I can't jump over stuff.
And
It's a problem I have.
And you have Tim Hutchins, I think, who was commentating.
Yeah.
And Badders comes up to this like really small
It was probably 1 foot high.
and he went, "Oh, that looked painful."
What did you do? Did you fall over it?
No, but they weren't very high. But I just don't like.
Oh, you just can't jump.
I think, yeah.
Well, I mean, you're labelled hovercraft, so pick up and knee drive.
Yeah.
Something.
Well,
It was-
Andy got first. So Andy had been coaching me at this point. Actually, maybe you hadn't, or you were just starting to coach me. This was like my 4th year at university, and we did a race called the High Park Relays, which is
Here we go.
which is a university race mainly.
Sarah, can
Club
I
race.
just say before he finishes his story? Okay. I'd only just started to get to know him.
Right.
Yeah, and Andy was popping up all over the course because you didn't see me train that often. You'd been setting me stuff from afar, and then this was right in the first year of our training relationship, so you didn't really ever watch me run. And you weren't used to my running style. And he's going absolutely mental at me every time he popped up, like proper laying into me, like, come on, try. like basically, like, put some effort in. And then I saw him afterwards and he's like, what was that? I was like, what do you mean? He's like, we just weren't trying. I was like, I was going all out, mate. What are you talking about? And then the results came through and I got the fastest lap. So I was like the fastest person on the day. And Andy had been laying into me saying how I just wasn't trying, and then we had to learn that that's what it looks like when I'm running.
So we recently did a challenge where, as a relay team, we tried to run a sub 2:30 marathon.
I saw that.
Steph Kessel was stood under the gantry waiting for
Olympic
you.
marathoner.
Olympic, and she did the same thing. She was like, "He's not. Is he going? What was his time?"
Yeah, she was getting quite cross, wasn't she? She thought she was putting a shift in and I wasn't doing anything.
And then, so then she started timing her rest to see how fast you were running. And so the next time you came in, she went, "Blimey, he looks like he's walking, but he's going at."
But you know, what,
3:20.
this is also a superpower, right? And I'll tell you why. Badders, British University, so World University Games. Do you remember we went out for those World Student University Games? And
in Izmir in Turkey.
and because from behind, sometimes from the front, he doesn't look like he's going very quick.
I think from most angles.
And from the side.
And so we had this strategy for the final, didn't we?
Yeah.
Which he was going to get to the front early and slow it right down. I mean, properly walking pace.
Right.
So for him, it looked like he was going backwards.
Yeah.
And he completely slowed it down. But then, was it 800 out?
Yeah, 700 or 800 out. You were just like, just try and get faster every 100 meters from here, and they won't be able to see it.
But they'll just see a gap.
And before that, they looked and they thought he's jogging. And by the time they realised he wasn't jogging, it was like 40, 50 metres you got, wasn't it? It was fantastic.
I did get a big gap.
So
and only one guy
good.
got me in the end, so I finished second.
It was amazing. It was just it was so nice to see.
So I do have a silver medal from a championship.
There you go.
Yeah.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
So Liverpool this weekend, you had an absolutely phenomenal performance.
It was really good.
You've got Team Macau established now as such an incredible performance group with Hoka. What is next for you, Team Macau? What are the dreams, the aspirations? How is this group going to conquer the world?
Well, look, we're just really fortunate that through the help of Chris Rainsford's Brainwave a few years ago,
Of setting up the whole group.
setting it up, first of all contacting me saying that I've got this idea, I want to get athletes under the same coach in the team, and then introducing me to Rory Leonard and Scott Beattie, and then Ellis Cross, and then
And Alice Cross had become famous randomly because he did a London 10K and he beat Mo Farah.
That's it.
In this 10K. And then he was like all across the national press because that was when Mo was still
I
like,
remember that.
the other side, just close to his peak. And then, sorry.
No. Segue, lovely.
Yeah. Yeah, but then what's next? Like,
No, and then it was all about then getting the right chemistry, getting the right persons together, all supported by Hoka, and then Team Macau comes into being, and then it grows, and so now we've got this really special group of athletes that is evolving, and the plan has always been to develop the athletes through to LA, get as many of the athletes into the LA Olympics, and it's as a team working together, and then enhancing the team with more athletes as we progress along, so that we've got the right chemistry and the right setup to have that opportunity.
Nice. And you say you've got how many athletes are in the team at the moment?
So at the moment, I'm going to name check them all. So I've got Callum Elson.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Callum?
Yeah, so he got a silver or bronze in the first World Athletics Road Running Championships, with
Silver,
the second iteration of those in 2026.
And I believe
in the
you
mile.
spoke to him before that.
Yeah. So can I claim that?
I think you should.
Well, so Callum is the Distance Project on YouTube, and he's also behind a lot of the video stuff on Team Macau as well.
Oh yeah, he's the chairman.
Yeah, and he runs the 1500 meters in the mile, whereas a lot of your guys are running further than that, right? So we have a shared affinity for.
But
for
you gave him some nuggets, didn't you? Into that.
It's probably like run really hard, be ahead of other people.
Make
what
sure
did
you
you
throw
tell
your
him?
spikes at Andy, but not quite close enough to get him.
Yeah. I just tell him nice stuff. I'd spoken to you. I knew what he'd done in training, and you'd said that he was able to do this stuff. And I've felt the power of, even when you and I are working together, sometimes you need an external voice from someone that you trust or respect. I don't know whether he's either of those things with me, but I was able to say to him, like, well, I've spoken to Andy. I've also seen these things. You can do something great here. Just like take the handbrake off and go for it.
Yeah.
And I had other people do that for me during my career. And then that just reinforced all the stuff you've been saying to me, which I sort of believed, but sometimes you want someone from outside of your little, circle who, there's always an element for me, and I'm sure for them, that like you're going to tell them what they need to hear.
Yeah.
But then by the end of my career, the one thing I would say to those guys listening would be like, if they're going to listen to this, what I would say to the Team Macau guys is, you never told me to do something I couldn't do, and you never expected something of me that I then couldn't go on and do. So the amount of confidence I took from that was amazing. I didn't really need those external voices, but if I can help your guys out by giving them a little nudge, then I will.
But you know what? It's beautiful that you are involved, and I'm able to call you to have those conversations because you've been through it. You've had your highs, your lows in world-class sport. And so you've got all of that experience to bring in, and it needs to be used. And it's so great to be able to utilize that with the team so that you can come and have those conversations. But yeah, so there's Callum Elson, had that conversation. Rory Leonard, Mo Farah's record, that's fantastic. Scott Beattie, who won at the weekend.
The trials in Liverpool,
Yeah,
so he'll be into the European
which
cross
was
country.
fantastic. Ellis Cross, which was fantastic. Sarah Astin, which is, what can I say? Sarah on Wednesday.
Yeah, looking forward to
Yeah,
that.
you'll be able to see her absolutely smoke Andy in a workout. Stay
Yes.
tuned for that.
India Weir,
Yeah.
who was silver medalist in the summer in 5K,
Yeah.
which was fantastic. She's, that's going to be fun. Ephraim Gide over in Ireland. We've got,
You've got a few overseas athletes as well, haven't you,
Yeah.
in Europe that were also running at their national cross-country trials.
Yeah, Simon Bedard at the weekend yesterday in a mudfest finished third in his trials, which was fantastic.
Is that in France?
It was in France, yeah. So
So you've got a few people, so there's going to be competing kind of nationalities at the European cross-country champs, which are in a few weeks.
yeah, but it's lovely, isn't it? Because when you've got them on camp, on a Hoka camp together as different nationalities, you can come together as a team because you're not competing within the actual training, etc. But then when you go away into those, global games and other big competitions, they are actually competing against each other, which is fun.
Can I come on a training camp?
I think you should. I think you definitely should.
Maybe we need to come and film that. Put Andy back in his training camp days. Put a camera in your face.
Did you say you
and
want
see
to
what
come to
happens.
Flagstaff?
In Arizona?
Yeah.
I would love to. I would get divorced.
but it's work, right? You work as the ultimate excuse.
Yeah. I went to Tokyo for just under 2 weeks, and that's a lot to ask someone with 3 little ones. So,
Well, stay tuned to see if you see Andy in Flagstaff, you'll know his marital status.
Andy's a solicitor, but not a divorce solicitor. So,
Yeah, maybe if you go delve into that bit, and then you really will be the.
But
dream
these are the excuses now, because if you remember when we started out and did what we did, camps were very difficult to kind of fund, orchestrate. And we knew they were a requirement to become world class. And here we are with the support through Hoka and their performance-driven program.
Yeah.
We're having these camps where we're bringing in, top athletes from around Europe and the world who are coming in to train together within that specialist environment. It just makes it very special. And to see that working with Hoka is a fantastic thing.
Yeah.
And we see this as being a fundamental must-do through to LA.
Yeah.
So a classic example is, did you go to UTMB?
Yeah, this year.
Yeah. So we had the trail guys at the Hoka camp in October. So you had the...
is that in Font Remote?
Yeah, so you had the elite trail guys out there running with the track and the cross country, and we were all there in the same camp together, which was a fantastic environment.
Yeah, I think the work that you're doing, that the results that you're seeing from the athletes and the support that you've got from Hoka is, I think we're going to see a lot of medals flying about in 2028, and I'm so excited to see what happens next. And you'll be getting a medal regardless in a couple of weeks. So
We'll have to get to the finish line.
Oh yeah, true. Well, fingers crossed.
Yes, exactly.
Huge best of luck for Valencia, Andy.
Thank you.
Good luck coaching him to
Thank
get
you.
across the finish line. And we'll see you next week for another episode. Bye-bye.
Brilliant. Bye.